Crypto Hotep here with another trading video. Guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in here. It's been around 2 weeks since I did a crypto market update video, so I think it was enough time in between to provide an update on my thoughts on the crypto markets and then also what the economic events are going on and for this week, and then just some things to keep in mind for the future. As always, guys, if these videos were helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Please share the video and let me know, what you guys think of these videos and what you're investing in. And what type of categories you think are going to take off in crypto, because there's a lot of volatility going on. But by no means is this financial advice. Big shout outs to my favorite crypto brokerage, Coinbase. A link is in the description below that you'll find. If you don't use Coinbase, sign up. If you do use Coinbase, click the link, tie your account with the link, and then that way Coinbase will pay me a portion of the transaction fees that they charge you, and you're essentially be supporting Crypto Hotep, the Hotep channel, and just kind of my work that I'm doing here recording these videos. But guys, we can jump right in here. So basically for this week's going to be pretty tame in terms of economic events, right? So if we look at this week starting Monday, April 13th, right? We have existing home sales. I really don't keep up with that. On Tuesday, we have the ADP employment change. Okay. We also have PPI that I really don't kind of track that much, but it can be high impactful. But we do have a lot of Fed speakings. So we have Fed Barr, Fed Collins, Fed Goolsbee that'll be speaking in the afternoon time on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have 30-year mortgage rate. Again, something I don't speak on or track that well. Fed Barr speak. New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. Again, something I don't track that often. And then into Thursday, we have initial jobless claims. All right. So with initial jobless claims, we are looking at a forecast of 215,000. What we would like is that number to be lower than that. Again, with the jobless claims, you want the number to be lower than the forecasted number because that will signify a stronger U.S. economy. Then we have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. We have Fed Williams speak, and then Fed Marin speak. And then Friday, we just have Fed Barkin and Fed Waller speak. So very tame in terms of economic news events. But one thing I did do is we did look at, I had Grok kind of summarize what's been going on with the U.S. and Iran, because that's what matters now with the markets. That's what's pushing all the markets right now, whether it be oil, whether it be crypto, whether it be stocks. Everything that's happening in Iran and the U.S. is dictating the prices on everything. So I just asked for the past 2 weeks, can they summarize it? Because there's been a lot of good Twitter accounts like the Kobesi letter that have been up to date with a lot of news events, but instead of scrolling through their timeline, I just needed a quick synopsis here. So, from March 30th to April 7th, we had round 3 of those negotiations. U.S. and the Trump administration pushed that 15-point plan requiring Iran to end all uranium enrichment, curtail ballistic missiles. It was basically a nuclear de-escalation for Iran to commit to, but they rejected that. Iran rejected that, citing that U.S. demands were very excessive. Okay, so now we go to April 11th and 12th. We did have J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance, meet with Iranian officials for, it looks like, 21 hours, and the talks did collapse without a deal being made. Okay. What did it say? It said both sides accused the other of excessive demands and Iran being inflexible. Okay. No progress was made on broader issues like sanctions, Hamas, access, or regional proxies. So, they took that time to talk this past weekend, and J.D. Vance and team actually went to I believe they went to Pakistan face to face with Iran officials for these meetings. So nothing came about with that. So the markets were very fluctuating on literally every single word here. So April 13th, today, President Trump initiated the U.S. military blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. Right. So this followed talks that failed, which was last weekend's talks and Iran's prior closure threats to the strait during the war. Okay, so again, there's been like blockades going back and forth and back and forth. So a lot of he said, she said, a whole bunch of that with this whole Iran and U.S. war, and it wouldn't mean anything. But right now with the markets, it means everything. Everybody is just so honed in on this, and oil prices spiked basically in this response, and then they dipped back down. It's been a crazy time here. So even though we don't have the economic news events that are official on the calendar, we have this Iran-US deal, hopefully that will somehow come to fruition. I think one of the last things that I did see on Twitter was that U.S. wanted, I think, a 20-year stop on Iran's nuclear missile productivity, and I think Iran just came back and said, "Hey, we want 5 years." So they're going back and forth now with that. So if they're going back and forth with that, typically that means there may be a deal coming soon. Because if there wasn't, they would just stop talking. So they are talking and trying to get some of these pieces in line, but who knows? So how does that fare with crypto? So let's go to the charts here, guys. So we're going to go to the dollar first. So the dollar, let me just move this up. The dollar here has been fully collapsed here. So it did get rejected by this 100 weekly level of supply and resistance here. As you can see, this was when it first initiated, and then price came up, tapped into that. It looked like almost a fake breakout here, and then it came back down. We have a bearish doji, and then currently right now we have a harsh rejection going into this 97 weekly demand support area. Okay, that's something you want to see. I'm good with the dollar collapsing a little bit here because that gives time for the other assets to breathe. Okay, so let's go to USDC. USDC, very similar case as well. So USDC has not made it over that 61.8 area that I spoke about 2 weeks ago. That 61 point area has held. And you can see here we have long wicks here. When we use the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, which is what these candlesticks are, when you have long wicked areas like this, you can see that price has not fully pushed up and closed above it. It's more of just reaching for liquidity here, hopefully to reverse and go down. That's what we're hoping for. That's what it looks like currently, because we have a bullish doji followed by a bearish doji, and then we have a nice red candle right here. So we'll see if this continues, but what I'm hoping is we get something along these lines here and we at least come into this area, but we'll see. We will see. Okay. Same thing with USDT. USDT looks the exact same way. It looks a little bit better though, because these are very stark rejections here. Again, long wicks. There's no candle bodies that have closed above these lines at all. These are just long wicked areas here. And so again, this looks very promising. And the only level of demand or support here that's close is at 5.96% right here. So that's what we're seeing. We want Tether, we want USDC, we want the dollar to collapse and give us some breathe room here so that our altcoins, Bitcoin, and the like can jump up. Okay, let's go to ETH BTC. Speaking of altcoins, and ETH BTC looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So basically what happened was we obviously had our falling wedge. We had a breakout on the falling wedge, but we had price collapse down. We have our fib golden zone between 50 and 61.8. Nothing's changed. I've kept this the same here. And what did we have? We had manipulation up under here. Yes, price came and started trading below the 50, 61.8 area, that fib golden zone. But as you can see, we have long wicks in this area right here, right here, right here. That's tapping into it, meaning that area is still of interest. And what happens here? We have price we have price rising up and closing above and into this area now. And that's saying something. So that's something monumental here, because typically, if this was a level that was known for selling, then we potentially would see a rejection from this level and have price come down, but we don't. We see price coming into that fib golden zone and closing in that actual zone. So that's given us a lot of hopium here, where price is like basing out. And this is actually a demand area. We can mark this right now. This is actually a demand area. Let's go to our line chart here. Boom. There you go. Let's switch back to Heikin Ashi. This is a demand area right now, right here. Why? Because we have a bearish candle followed by 1, 2, 3 bullish candles. So this is a good level of support right here, guys. Okay, so that's good. That's good to see. We'd like to see that. Another thing we have here is we have the total 3. We have the total 3 chart. Total 3 chart, we are looking pretty good right here. So the total 3 chart is the altcoin market without Bitcoin, ETH, and stable coins. Okay, so this is just all the altcoins. So we have our supply here at 400 billion, and that is holding steady right here. It has not collapsed as of yet. It's just kind of, it's ranging. It's doing a little range and it's bouncing right here, but it's staying solid as of right now. So it hasn't collapsed any further. Nothing is happening currently. So it's really hard to make a certain case. I personally like the fact that it broke this downtrend right here. It didn't collapse and this level is still holding. I also like the fact that the slow stochastic is still oversold right here. So that gives more room to make a jump to the upside. So that's what I'm thinking here. Okay, let's go to our total chart. So this is basically the entire crypto market excluding stable coins. And this looks even better. So very similar to the total 3 chart we just saw. This includes Bitcoin and ETH. But as we can see here, we have our demand support area. Price has solidified on it, hasn't collapsed, and it looks like it's basing. It looks like it's just trying to find its footing to then pop back up. That's what it looks like right now. It looks very, very promising. Let's go to the king, Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not look bad either. Why? Well, Bitcoin is sitting on the 200-week moving average. That's this blue line right here. 200-week moving average, it's sitting right on it. And as we can see here, it hasn't collapsed. So it's respected this 200-week moving average. It's also tapped into this weekly demand area of 62.8. I personally think we get a couple God candles or one God candle right to 93,000. That's what I think. I think, if in my honest opinion, I think Bitcoin's trying to do a double bottom here. It's trying to find its footing here in this area, and then I think it's going to pop back up. The minimum target, I think, is going to be 93,000. Let me just do a quick check on the line chart. Yep, I think it's going to be about around 93,000 or so before we see some resistance, if we can get a pop-up. Okay. Let's go to ETH. ETH doesn't look bad. I'm not very overjoyed with ETH right now, and the only reason is because it's trying to reclaim 2200. 2200 is this green line. It's a level of demand and support for the weekly. Okay, I'm not overly joyed because it hasn't reclaimed it yet. To reclaim a previous level, right? So what I mean is, we had price collapse down. It started trading below demand and support, but as I mentioned on the last recording, this price is still a level of interest. Why? Well, remember guys, we have those long wicks that are touching this area even though it's trading below it. That means there's still buyers that like this price for ETH. So now we're seeing a little bit more price pushing through that level, So what I would like to see is I want to see a close in this area above this line. That's what I want to see. Until then, I'm not getting really overjoyed about this move. Do I like to see it? I love to see it. But we need to get a close in this area. That's what we need to do. Okay. Let's go to the trades that I'm currently in. Let's start at Aerodrome. So again, I have not sold anything. I'm still holding strong here. Aerodrome is on the same kind of path as Ethereum is currently, traded below a weekly demand support level. As you can see, it's currently retesting this level. But again, I'm not getting happy until we close in this area here. And then I potentially would add some more Aerodrome in here. But until then, we're just patiently waiting. Graph is my worst, my worst asset currently. And we are still trying to find a good base for Graph. Unfortunately, we haven't found it yet. We're trying to get some buyers in here, but we haven't found it yet. So the good thing I will say, the hopium though, is if you look at the candles have dwindled down on selling. So that's something good to see. We like to see that. So we're just waiting right now. Haven't added anything to that. Near actually looks good. Near looks really good. We did, as a reminder, we did buy at $1.15 because it closed, and this is what I mean, it closed above it. It closed above this line. Very good. Very good candle to buy on. And so again, we're just waiting right now to see what it's going to do. If we get a chance to buy more in this area near this weekly level of demand and support, we'll do that. But we're going to wait until the slow stochastic also tells us as well. But if it doesn't, we're just going to wait. We're going to hold our position. Our targets are pretty high as of right now. We're looking somewhere around this area for a target. So we're going to be doing a lot of waiting for right now. But I feel as though we have the upside on our side. Just the amount of days and months that we've been downtrending here. I think it's going to be time for a little relief here. C is on the same path as Graph. I'm still holding C as of right now. Haven't done anything. But as you can see, C is not doing what it's supposed to. It's somewhat similar to Graph, where it's trying to find a level to base off of. And we have smaller red candles, which is a good thing. But the issue is we don't have any buyers stepping in yet. So we're waiting. Again, we're waiting, not buying anything, not being too premature. For Uniswap is, we did buy some Uniswap when it closed above this level of demand and support at $3.75. It currently is at $3.20 though. And the good thing is it hasn't collapsed further past this $3.32 weekly demand support level. So that level is still of interest, right? This move is still viable if we can, again, come back and reclaim this level of demand and support. But yeah, as of right now, we're kind of just waiting and seeing and holding. Okay. How do we look on our portfolio? So 1 month, we're at a negative 2.33%. 3 months, we're at a negative 24.94%. And then 6 months, we are at a negative 29.35%. But we have, those are bad numbers, right? However, if you have been following me in these recordings, we've actually shrunk the negatives returns pretty well. Just with the price appreciation, those numbers have come down greatly. USD is still our number one position as of right now for this portfolio. It just is. It is. We have the biggest amount of USDC currently that's earning 3.5% with Coinbase, and we're just waiting on it. We're not doing anything. Again, we're just waiting, just stacking USDC and just waiting. Aerodrome, our P&L is, and these are realized and unrealized gains, but I have not sold any of my positions as of yet. We're negative 49.41%. Okay. Near, we're at negative 42.21%. Uniswap, we're negative 52.87%. And in C, negative 72.89%. In the worst of them all, graph, negative 74.46%. So, as I mentioned before, guys, again, these are very, very stark numbers, right? But you have to remember that crypto can move like the drop of a dime at any point. So, as the conflicts overseas kind of settle down, and once the official word comes out that a deal has been made and it's going through, there's going to be these jumps in prices for crypto that are going to bring, the euphoria back again. So again, it just takes time. You can't be too emotional with this. I've been doing this now. I've been in it for 6 years or so. I've seen stuff like this before. So it's just kind of being patient, just being patient. And again, I've tweaked certain things about my trading style where now I wouldn't have bought all of these candles here. I probably would have only bought one and then waited. And then based on my rules, I probably would have sold right here as well. Just very similar if I would have sold right here, somewhere close to being overbought levels. But again, you live and you learn. And now I've created a rule for that where I'm not buying every successive candle here. I'm only buying one, and then I'm waiting for a range to break out, and then I'll buy another candle. Okay. But guys, we will close this video out. And as always, if this video is helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. But as always, thank you guys, and happy trading.